I'm just gonna come right out here and say it right here now since we brought up the prison.
I was a little pissed. Actually, not pissed, but I was just a little shocked. I saw it coming, but I was like, oh, dude, just fucking.
Damn you people! Herschel did not need to die! At least not that soon. At least not that soon. Motherfucker. Seriously. I warned people last week that there was going to be an interesting portion in regards to this, and I fucking did.
Welcome back, YouTube. AV here with TJ Green, and we are covering Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead, motherfuckers, and I cannot wait. Ladies and gentlemen, for those who are watching this, depending on when this video is posted, tomorrow, Sunday, is the season 4 finale of the Walking Dead TV show. I am counting down the hours. Walking Dead, that's one of those rare instances where there's something that is so good it's covered by more than one media type of thing.
Indeed.
We got graphic novels, comic books. We've got TV shows, video games, bad video games.
Yes.
So, The Walking Dead is basically, it starts out with this character, Rick Grimes, and he is just coming out of a coma to find out that he is in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, and instead of allowing himself to be pretty much, boned in the ass and become zombie chow, he goes out, explores, and his goal is to find his wife and kid. But what he finds throughout the course of the series is a lot more than that.
Indeed. Indeed. It gets, let's just say from the beginning, it gets even more interesting. He ends up, like you said, TJ said, finding his wife and kids. And that's where the troubles start. Because little does he know, his best friend Shane is fucking his wife.
Shane's a naughty boy.
Basically.
Shane's a naughty boy. But in order to defend Shane a little bit, at the time, there was no guarantee on when or if Rick would ever wake up. So at that point, there's a guilty feeling to it, but at the same time, if you're in a coma, you don't always wake up quickly from a coma. I mean, there's cases of comas where they've lasted years, and at some point they have to declare a coma victim legally dead. I mean, they're not coming back. In this case, sucks to be Shane, because Rick comes back with a vengeance.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
But he's not one of those, automatic, I know everything I need to know heroes. He is a main character that makes a lot of mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
But that's what I like, considering, most other older shows that you have like a hero type, he pretty much just, they always used to act like they always knew what they were doing, and they always, they made the decisions like, I'm automatically going to save this person, or I'm automatically going to save the world, and I know I can do it because I'm an arrogant little jackass. No.
He had a temper to him too. I mean, he had a temper.
Oh, yes.
He beat the crap out of that one prick at that camp back in Atlanta. Oh God,
dude!
I was like, wow.
He left that one racist bastard in the first season handcuffed on top of a roof.
Oh. Yeah, that was Rick. I was talking about Shane, my bad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, Shane, yes.
But
Shane, oh.
Rick did, yeah, that was actually He went back for him. He went back for him. He just had it wrong. Yeah, I don't know. Just one of those things where you got to keep control of the situation. So, why not just cuff his ass to the fucking roof? Have him bake a little bit in the summer.
Pretty much. It worked. You should have left his ass there, truthfully. He deserved to become Zombie Chow. The guy was prejudiced, racial, an all-around, like, I have nothing against rednecks, per se, but if you're a racist and a prejudicial one, at that point, Zombie Chow is the best situation you could probably face.
Yep.
Granted, I pity the zombies because I don't think anybody like that would taste that good, but, and this is a series that doesn't shy away from, nasty language either. They play this and they treat this as they would like a feature film of sorts. I mean, granted, it's an hour-long episode, but it's like a mini movie in chains of mini movies, which I'm absolutely a huge fan of. It's a show that takes itself seriously, and it is a serious show.
Indeed. I mean, I was actually when I was first actually getting caught up in The Walking Dead, I had seen a little bit of on YouTube originally, so I just said, "Hey, I got to start watching this." So I looked on Netflix, and boom, it was there. So that's actually where you'll keep all this. You'll get up to date is on Netflix. As far as I know, they have 1 through 3. I guess
Seasons 1 to 3 officially, and I believe they will put season 4 after they officially air the finale for it tomorrow.
I hope so, because I kind of feel like watching the other episode again.
Oh yeah,
it's just one of those things where you kind of gotta watch it again just because it's that good. It is that good. You really need to watch it.
You will, if you have a DVR for your cable, you will use it with this show. I've already done that.
Yep.
And I will tell you right now, there are aspects of each progressive season that get darker and darker and darker.
Oh man, they get darker and twisted, kind of.
Very twisted.
I'll say that season 4 the most. Oh yeah.
Like, we'll get into those moments a little bit. But I forgot another media aspect that Walking Dead covers. Talking Dead. Talking Dead. Chris Hardwick of the Nerdist channel, which, by the way, you can also find on YouTube. Search under Chris Hardwick and Nerdist, and you'll find some excellent material there. Chris Hardwick hosts Talking Dead, which premieres every night right after the new episodes of Walking Dead, and is a talk show where celebrities and actual cast members and crew members of The Walking Dead come on to discuss not only that episode, but things about the character, ideas about what they can say about what's coming up or what they feel is coming up if they don't know. But it's absolutely great. And they joke around on there, yeah, but they get into serious analysis of like where their characters have grown and what things might make them snap further. Just absolutely fantastic.
Indeed. Come to think of it, I've never actually even seen The Talking Dead. That's the funny thing right there. I should watch this. Well, you should too.
I believe yes. Walking Dead show comes on at 10, I think.
Yeah.
10 o'clock.
I'll have to check it out.
And then Walking Dead show comes on at 10, and Talking Dead comes on 11 o'clock, I believe. One right after the other, back to back. Go to AMC on your cable provider, or if you can't watch the episode right then and there, go to amctv.com, and they actually have full episodes of that and Talking Dead on there to view in case you missed it. So,
Yeah.
yay for internet. But
Yeah.
for both shows, you really should watch. You know, if you're a fan of drama, action, suspense, the whole 9 yards, and a little bit of humor, not so much. It's not overridden with it, but
Oh, there's humor. There's humor. It's that small little humor
exactly
that makes an apocalypse much more interesting to be a part of, I guess.
it's subtle. The humor's subtle, and it's not just like right there in your face.
Yeah.
And it doesn't detract from the series. It's appropriate. So let's talk about truthfully, our favorite versions or our favorite versions, characters, for this, because Walking Dead, it's been around for 4 now, going on 5 seasons. One full season of a video game by Telltale, and now they're, I believe, coming up to episode.
Which I have played, by the way.
I'm not sure. I think they've got episode 2 on for
Walking
Dead season 2.
Game.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's on Xbox too. You'll find it there. I think it's on PS now.
It's on the Xbox store marketplace, and it is also on the PlayStation store.
I've actually got both too. They're actually they just recently released the episode for Walking Dead 2, the video game. So you got the first episode and the second one, which
seasons 1 and 2.
Played. It's good.
And I like that because Telltale said that they want to make it as many seasons as the fans continue to buy and demand for. And season 1 was bone chilling. It's pretty much, it is a choose your own adventure, but with gruesome results. So
true. I mean, I'm gonna say the graphics aren't entirely. They're not Skyrim like, but it don't matter, truth be told, because the whole, you choose the storyline. It's just more thrilling than that, to be honest. So
they pay more homage, I believe, to the graphic novel version, the comic version of The Walking Dead, more so than the TV. So the graphics for that particular version, I don't think are going to be spectacular per se.
I don't really expect them to either.
Yeah, I mean,
I really don't care if they are. It's just,
Although the one video game where the graphics were supposed to be better and were supposed to be realistic-ish and failed epically was Xbox 360's and PlayStation 3's The Walking Dead Survival Instinct.
Yep, I've seen a little bit about that.
Starring Daryl and Merle. And I'm a fan of Daryl. Daryl's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
Not my all-time favorite character, but he's one of my favorites. And I'm glad that they decided to do something along the canon lines of the Walking Dead TV show. I mean, that's why the AMC logo is on this game. But I don't, the game itself, the AI was piss poor. There's so much lacking in this game that you just can't really put your finger on it per se. I'm glad they got the original actors to play the characters. Norman Reedus is great as Daryl, but I believe that game did more harm than good, and I think they need to do a redo per se and try to include more of the characters and more of the things that you see in the TV show and the comics that make Walking Dead what it is. The foraging, the hard decisions, the consequences of what happens if you make certain decisions in this zombie apocalyptic world. I mean, that's that's digressing a little bit.
Yeah, I agree too. I haven't. I played it a little bit. I didn't actually own the game, but I played it a little bit, and they really need to. It needs to be a little better. But it's not like it was totally horrible, so I was kind of entertained.
This game was so easy to beat.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, and the zombie apocalypse is not an easy thing to endure. I mean, you're living in a chaos state.
Exactly.
There are no rules. There are no boundaries. You know,
And and it's always the simplest solution: a hammer to the head.
I've
Yeah.
seen hammers, swords, street signs,
Mm.
moving vans,
Yeah.
tanks,
Oh yeah.
actual buildings,
Thanks indeed.
howitzer. Granted, a moving howitzer, you become zombie roadkill. A firing howitzer, you become ballistic practice.
Pretty much.
Um, let's talk about what drew us to the TV show itself, the one that's been going on for 4 seasons now. Like what to you, A-Varn, drew you and pulled you to the badassery that is The Walking Dead?
Well, if you want to talk about what drew me in, like I said, I originally saw this on YouTube, and keep in mind, I'm a huge zombie apocalypse fan here in a way, so this show already drew me in just by that alone. So I started watching it, and it got really interesting, and I guess you could say I'm not entirely the biggest fan when it comes to drama, but horror most of the time. So
Yes.
let's just say this show kind of gave me the sense of entertainment I've been looking for. Other than gaming, aside from that, what drew me in was the well, fuck. I mean, when you wake up in a hospital out of a coma into a zombie apocalypse that you knew nothing about, that alone, that's just like if that were me, I'd probably bullet to the head.
Yeah, I mean,
Bullet to the head.
you don't know how it started. You don't know how it spread.
The most confusing state of mind ever, in my opinion, and which was good. I loved it. You know, and like I said, from there on out, it just got better for me. You know, I mean, there's really not much to say unless you've actually seen the show. You'll know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, you need to watch it. But
what pulled me is the fact, like you said, you know, you wake up from a coma and all of a sudden your world has changed. It's not your world anymore.
pretty much,
You know, it's overrun by people, a lot of people you knew, and then the people you know that survived, you don't know them anymore because they've changed to adapt to um, the state of the world around you. Your your morals are changing, your rules are changing, you're de-evolving, evolving. I mean, it's always and each episode proves this too. I think
yeah.
you know each episode proves that there's always something. It's either an evolution, a de-evolution, um, a character development, a character loss, um, and the fact that these characters, you know, you start to see that there's core characters, you know, like Rick and Michonne and Glenn and Maggie and Herschel and the governor and
Oh, what a prick, you know.
all these people. Yeah, governor's a straight up asshole.
He didn't seem like a prick at first, but you'll see.
No, I mean he changed. I mean, you know, and it's proof. You know, everybody changes in the aftermath of a zombie apocalypse. Um, and as much as I would say, you know, normally say, you know, the main hero, which would be Rick. I mean, the whole thing centered around Rick
Mm-hmm.
at first. he would have been my favorite character. And I'm not saying I don't like him. I actually do, and I like what he has gone through and grown and evolved with the course of the 4 going on now 5 seasons.
Oh, there is one thing that actually drew me in too. That was actually I thought was badass too about Rick. Sorry, not to cut you off there.
No.
But that Rick was a police officer.
Yes.
And not only that, he had one badass revolver that I loved. It was his main weapon,
yes.
And it was fucking awesome. I'm just saying, having that nice big ass gun, just oh my god, it was nice. It doesn't have to be fancy. It just gets the job done, right? It's accurate.
And I like the fact too that, you know, differently from other TV shows, if you bring, if you have a show where it centers around one character and that character, say, dies. Now, keep in mind, Rick isn't dead yet, as we're aware of by this. Although things may change during the season finale, we both don't know yet until later on tomorrow night.
I can't wait.
We are going nuts.
I'd watch it now if there was an early release, I swear.
Oh, hell yeah. Hails to the yeah. But if that main character dies,
yes,
most times your show's done.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
With The Walking Dead, there are so many different characters that I believe can carry and continue the show. And I think with the nature of the zombie apocalypse and The Walking Dead, if those characters die, there's always going to be some other character that an audience member is going to pull to that will continue the show up until they either finally make a decision and end it, or they, which I'm hoping for Walking Dead won't happen, but if they cancel it mid-season or whatnot, because of ratings decline, which I really don't foresee that with The Walking Dead, but you plan for those.
Pretty much.
I like that there's new characters, good or bad, that can carry the excitement of the show.
Indeed.
And that's definitely what draws me to looking forward to each episode when it comes on. Favorite character?
Favorite character?
Favorite character.
Well, I can already tell you my favorite character, Rick.
Mr. Lawman.
But, if I had to choose a second one, Daryl.
Mr. Crossbow Badass, yes.
Rick and Daryl, partners in crime right there. They held it down pretty good.
They look like they could have been brothers.
Basically.
One has the opposite way of doing things, the other has the opposite, but they build off each other and feed off each other.
Exactly.
I agree with that.
And they may not always agree, but they have this form of respect for each other, so that's the plus. That's what made it good. So what about you, TJ?
Well, you and I have the same secondary favorite character, which is Daryl. Oddly enough, my favorite character is Michonne.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna do that too.
Michonne is just, she's, for the longest time when she comes into the series, she's a mystery. She's one of those silent ninja type where she lives her daily life in the zombie apocalypse. She grabs her sword, she kills zombies, she goes on, and she doesn't really start saying much, and then slowly, thanks to Rick's son Carl, she starts evolving and letting the audience see her story, her backstory, and why she is and how she is the way she's been.
In my opinion, the way she is to me and the way she kind of acts in the beginning when you first see her, think of a younger, darker female like Chuck Norris. And you get the idea. But still, good character. Love it.
Well, This is a corny reference, but I don't think anything else fits. She's a zombie apocalypse samurai. She's like
Yes.
she's like a samurai in all code. Like she's got an honor code. She's got a badass katana sword that has seen its fair share of zombie chow. Like
Yes.
I think the death toll for Michonne's zombie killing katana sword is way too numerous to count. Like
Oh.
oh, I love that sword. It's the badass.
Indeed.
But she's not one of those loner type. Uh, at least not fully. She starts out that way, but then she starts building that friendship with Carl and with the group that eventually started Sanctuary at the prison up until its horrific downfall in the mid-season finale of season 4.
Let's just say the shit hit the fan real quick.
Okay, I'm just gonna come right out here and say this right here now since we brought up the prison.
Yeah.
It was the most action-packed couple of episodes. The episode before, building up to the downfall of the prison, and the episode after, which was the downfall of the prison, which was the mid-season finale for season 4. And obviously, Michonne took the governor's eye. Michonne and Herschel were captured by the governor.
Well, I don't think she took his eye. I think she stabbed it and popped it, and basically, but still.
Yeah, well, she took his eye from him. Like
Technically,
she was the cause of his eye going.
Well,
And so she was one of the few that the only that succeeded in wounding him per se. Rick, Rick faced off against this guy, and let's face it, he was going to die. He was getting curb stomped to the pits of hell. So Michonne succeeded in wounding him, which he took very bad, and the group at the prison just ticked him off to the point of no return, and he figured if he couldn't have the prison for himself, nobody was going to have it, and
it was that point that an interesting character left. You know who that is. I was a little pissed. Actually, not pissed, but I was just a little shocked. I saw it coming, but I was like, oh, they did not just fucking do that.
Damn you people! Herschel did not need to die! At least not that soon. You motherfuckers, okay, seriously. I warned people last week that there was going to be an interesting portion in regards to this, and I fucking hate the premature death of Herschel. I thought at least if he was going to die, it was going to be when they got to Terminus, if Terminus happened to be an ambush, which I still think it is.
Indeed.
I thought for sure Governor, and keep in mind, she's my favorite character, and I don't want her to die, but the logical progression being as Michonne wounded him, I thought the governor was going to kill Michonne. That would have been, like, to me, the more impactful, because Michonne was, the only real driving force that, could have defeated him entirely and killed him, and could possibly have, stopped as much of the devastation from happening. And instead, he kills off Herschel. I love that old man is so nice. He still had a little bit, I believe, to give. I don't think really he deserved to die until the season finale. Like even if you make it a cliffhanger on that season finale, Herschel's death could have happened there, and it probably would have had more impact.
Yeah, but he was the doctor, for God's sake, basically.
Oh, fucking
He was the guy
bastards.
that would run around seeing if you were okay, and even if you were okay, you know.
He was, yeah, he was the moral compass. He was the advice for Rick. He was the he was the very subtle, very nice, encouraging reality check for the group. Um,
And blunt if needed.
yes,
Very blunt.
oh yes,
But
he
very
did tell it
subtle,
like
but
it
very
was.
blunt.
And I'm not saying that he shouldn't have died. I actually expected it to happen, but
Yeah.
I felt that it was a little too quickly for something like that. I mean, especially if you're going for the impact of a twist.
What did you think originally, by the way, while we're on that topic? What did you think before all that when he lost his leg? What did you think about that? Did you think he was gonna die?
When he lost his leg, when Herschel lost his leg,
It seemed like he might have died then, but he didn't.
I definitely thought that his death was going to come a lot sooner, just because of the fact that the injured tend not to survive well
Yeah,
or long in the.
You lost a leg and you're bleeding half to death. So
But he did prove that he still had the ability to contribute to the group. He didn't slow anybody down, at least not yet as of that point. And everybody had reached the sanctuary, so with the prison sanctuary, so it was a lot easier to have him help and have them help him, and nothing was going to get hamstrung up until the governor brought his tank and basically said, okay,
okay, fuck you. No one's getting it then.
exactly, if I can't have it, you fuckers won't have it either. And but yeah, I did, like you said, I did think that Herschel was going to die sooner than he did. But from what I've seen of the story arc, it made me feel that his death should have been a twist save for the season finale of 4, not the mid-season. As a consequence of, okay, well, what happens when you lead people into a trap? And what happens when you get in your mindset that this isn't a trap, and you're arrogant enough to think, okay, well, this couldn't possibly be another Woodbury, and come to find out, like, keep in mind, we don't know anything about what's going on with Terminus, the new place that they're converging on as of yet. This is just speculation at this point because you've already had a sanctuary, and it was steady for quite a while. So you would expect by logic the next place to either be a trap, an ambush, or the calm before the storm leading to a worse ambush than before.
Pretty much.
I just and like like I said, I really am passionate about the fact that I believe that the governor would have likely taken Michonne down because of the wound that she did to him. Herschel didn't do anything to him. If he's going for a vengeance reaction, then logically, again, Michonne and or Rick would have been the likelier targets. In fact, Governor got his hands on Rick later on during that whole knockdown, drag out of the prison.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But of course, what happens after that? Michonne saves the day. She stuck a sword right through him.
She wasn't the one who killed him, though.
She wasn't the one that killed him, though. I think she left him though to turn, just for that final, fuck you, your turn, fuck you. Bye.
Okay.
I think she. I don't know. This is just my opinion, but I thought maybe she might have had the mindset to turn him into a walker for her own personal use.
She has on multiple occasions.
Because she's used walkers before with taking their jaws, arms off so they can't do anything, and basically used them as repellent guardians in a
As
way.
pets.
Pretty much. Kind of sick, but kind of interesting. But this is a sick and twisted environment, so to speak, on TV. So it fits. Yes.
The thing that I did like, but not for reasons that people may think, I liked the death of the governor and the fact that it wasn't a core group member that finished him off per se. It was a quote unquote unknown. The mother of the child that, okay, keep in mind, folks, if you, to a person that you see and suspect might be an enemy or a psychopath, and you bequeath to him as if you're giving him the holiest of grails, your baby, like, here, I bequeath him to you, and this man, in response, says, oh, thank you for bequeathing to me your child. Now I'm going to take my pistol, and oh, there goes his brains. Then chances are your revenge is well deserved. And she is the one that shoots him, blows his brains out execution style, and says, you know what? You took mine, I take you.
Indeed.
So I did like the insult to the injury that it wasn't one of the prison victims that killed him. It was somebody on his own, quote unquote, inner camp.
Yeah.
That finished him this time.
Pretty much. What's funny is that when this happens, you don't know what happens. That was at that end of that show. You don't know what happened to her. Later on, you find out that this wasn't even on. You don't even know this, but this was said that she was swarmed apparently after that. So I guess it kind of sucks, but kind of a victory in a way.
In a way, yes. What do you think of these newer characters that came in, like Abraham and Eugene and Sasha, and these new ones that basically joined with the split up members of the group before their convergence onto what is Terminus?
Well, I think it's very interesting. Since most of the group were actually cut off, split up, and killed off, I think it was very appropriate for these people to be for more people to be added. I don't know if I like Daryl's group so much, to be honest.
Claimed.
But the Abraham, those Abraham, what's his name?
Oh, Abraham and Eugene.
Eugene and what's her name again?
Sasha.
Sasha, yeah. Though really honestly, when I first saw them, they pulled up to that girl beating the shit out of that zombie with a rifle. She goes, the way she talked. Honestly, I thought that that spelled out trouble when they first met, but no, it turns out they were pretty okay. And come to find out, since they know what is going on, like what started it, and that they could stop it, that brings a whole new twist to the story. And keep in mind, you still don't know because it's quote unquote classified until they decide to tell you. Yes. Oh, I liked it. It was very, very well. Yeah, I liked it pretty good.
I agree. I do think that after the whole downfall of the prison and people who died during that, and everybody that got split up during that, and people who actually were split up before the uh, the events of the prison. I mean, I definitely think we need some new blood, but I'm also a fan of the fact that we had a return that we hadn't seen in several episodes.
We did.
In the form of Carol coming back.
Mm-hmm.
And Rick banished Carol from the group for killing those people.
Mm-hmm.
And she comes back and confesses it all to Tyrese, and
I thought he was gonna shoot her. He looked like he wanted to.
she gave him the option.
Pretty much.
She basically put her life in his hands and says, "Okay, I trust your judgment. But if you feel I need to, own up for my crimes, well, now's your chance to do it." And she's also responsible for one of the most bone-chilling and what I feel will be controversial moments.
The kids that were with there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Notice you said were.
Were. I was just gonna say this. It's hard to explain. The older girl, was twisted. Very twisted.
I think you're talking about Lizzie, aren't you? Lizzie.
Yeah. She killed her fucking sister to turn into a walker. I don't know, but I didn't see that one coming. How about you?
Lizzie, I saw some sort of psychopath. Like, she is a psycho.
That was a little weird.
Straight up. Like, and so when Carol notices this, she decides to take matters into her own hands.
And pop goes the weasel.
Ladies and gentlemen, a bit of advice. Don't ever allow yourself near this woman and flowers, okay? She goes to Lizzie, tells her to just look at the flowers, and kills Lizzie. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, boy.
Well, I mean, this is how I look at it. She kind of saw she needed to stop her, and she kind of saw her as... Well, if she killed her own sister, let's just say she's not going to kill them.
Exactly. I mean, the girls were both trained to pack some serious heat when it came to firearm.
Yeah.
And they knew how to use it, they knew where to use it, and they knew where to shoot and how to kill. And Lizzie, being the psychopath that she was probably going to commit a death spree one way or the other. This was even blatantly to people who may not have watched the series all the time, this was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying Lizzie didn't deserve to die. I'm saying the way it happened gave me the willies. It gave me the absolute chills, dude. Like, telling Lizzie to go ahead, to walk ahead, and just look at the flowers.
At the time, I didn't know that was coming. But then when I see her reaching for the pistol, and I'm like, oh fuck. I'm like, oh fuck. I guess she's gonna die.
You knew something was coming. You didn't know what, and then when that pistol came out, you knew the result that was happening, and it was just like, okay, 3, 2, 1, bye bye Lizzie. I did like the fact that those girls stepped up, so to speak, at the prison, and they ended up saving Tyrese.
Yeah, that was one of the moments where that was appropriate. But I mean, when you think about it, sometimes when you think about it, a zombie apocalypse can have a very interestingly negative effect on people. As seen in most other zombie games that I've played, there was always psychotic, crazy fuckers who have completely lost their mind.
batshit crazy. Oh yeah.
So I mean, it's it's it can foreseeably happen. That I mean, I don't foresee a zombie apocalypse, granted, but if if there were one to happen, I guarantee some people would probably lose their fucking mind.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's. I definitely think this is a testament to the way Robert Kirkman wrote his comic book series and whatnot. His whole idea, and with him writing the entirety of the TV show as well. Um, I definitely think he's acknowledging the human reactions in something as fantastical as the zombie apocalypse. I mean, there is going to be an apocalypse coming at some point, maybe, whether it's a zombie one or whatever hits us. I think that's just a way of kind of saying, okay, well, this is one example of something. This is how the human reaction occurs during these events, and what happens to people's minds or mindsets when all they knew was thrown out the window.
Pretty much. I mean, well, let's just say, hey, I don't mean to get all, but what do you guys think? Do you think a zombie apocalypse could really happen? I think that'd be a very interesting thing to hear from you guys.
Yes.
I mean, nobody wants it to happen, but let's just be honest. Can it? I mean, with all we know with science and everything, some very fucked up things have happened and can happen. So that's an interesting way.
Exactly, and if you are watching this and you are already a fan of the Walking Dead television series, um, also put down in the comment section below, what do you people think if you've watched up to this point? What do you think Terminus is going to be? We've already seen the first portions of it, and for anybody who's ever been a huge Trekkie, they noticed that Tasha Yar is the whole overly calm greeter of Terminus, and so you know, is is she the calm before the storm, or is she just a signal of the ambush that is inevitably going to happen? Tell us what you think. Tell us, are there any characters you expect to die? Or, by this point too, we may end up posting this at the same time that the show will end up being on the season finale. So give us your thoughts on the show itself and anything else that you might have that was a memorable moment that drew you. Put it in the comment section below, please.
Exactly, and I come to think of it on this note, I'm definitely gonna get this out on YouTube before the show. So like I said, put all your comments down below. What do you guys think? What do you guys think if a zombie apocalypse could happen? I'd love to hear it. I don't think you would too. So
Absolutely.
well,
You know, final thoughts on the impact of The Walking Dead. I mean, for it to cover so many different genres, book, game, TV show, who knows, maybe even a feature film release. I mean, at this point, the potential's still out there to expand on things. Um, you know, actually dual TV show. I mean, with the Talking Dead talk show afterwards. I definitely see why this show is as exciting and interesting for people as it is. And how these characters are they're ingrained in people, and they want to see Rick survive, and they want to see Carl survive, and they want to see Michonne kick ass, and they want to see Daryl impale somebody with a crossbow, or go on a zombie killer rampage. I mean, so I'm a huge fan. I'm definitely giving definitely my double thumbs up for sure. Seal of approval.
Me
You know,
too.
yes. We're both definitely, giving our thumbs up seal, of approval for this incredible TV show and just, you know, franchise, I guess you can say now in general.
Pretty much.
And I cannot wait to find out what happens in the season finale tomorrow night and to see what they potentially bring us with the onset of season 5.
Same here. So with that in mind, guys, I do believe this comes to a close. And
Yes.
this is AV signing off and TJ Green, and this was The Walking Dead.
Catch you later.